So, as I mentioned in the last video, we're going to talk about periodization and how we built this program for you. So it's going to be 3 different phases over the course of the 8 weeks. The first phase is going to be kind of like a prep phase, general preparation. So it's going to be more higher volume, low intensity plyometric stuff, higher volume strength work, working on just kind of building that foundation. That's why we call it a prep phase. Then for about 4 weeks, it's going to be very specific to the sport, working on, building more strength, power, and speed, because then that's going to kind of flow into the getting very specific, because it's going to be like right before you start playing your sport, where you want to get as specific as possible when it comes down to periodization. So the closer you get, you want to increase the intensity, decrease the volume, work on really focusing on the speed work, so that your body is ready for those high intensity sprints, high intensity jumping, reaction stuff, so you can really feel it and be prepared for what's coming. Again, this is only an 8-week program. And we do provide stuff that's more longer if you have a longer off season. Again, this program is for, as I mentioned in the manual, as you read, is for a soccer player that might have a longer off season. Some have 6 weeks, some have 8 weeks, some have 12 weeks. It really depends on what you want. And in the program, we're going to, in the program, you're going to see that there is different areas. If you're still in season, because many of you know that soccer is now, depending on where you are around the world, many of you might know that soccer is a very year-round sport with a very limited off season. Again, this program is for off season, and you can alter it as you go, and we explain to you how to do that as different phases, or week by week, like what we suggest if you're in season, or if you have a limited off season, on what to do. Again, as I mentioned, it's going to be it's an 8-week program. This is how we periodize it. We create a general strength phase. Then we get a little bit more specific on soccer specific things, still working on strength, power, speed work. Again, this is a 4-day-a-week program, 1 day a week, 1 or 2 days off. It's up to you, depending on, again, like what are you doing outside of the gym. You can always cut back on the days, make it only 3 days, and focus on certain things, and we make those suggestions in the program. And then once we get a little bit closer to your season, this is where this is why we call it competition phase, or some people call it there's like a transition, or some people will say, depending on if you are going to continue strength training, maybe at school or with your pro team or whatever, they'll call it like a deload, or transition period, as I said, or peaking. So again, you do want to peak when you get into the season, or a little bit into the season, not really at the beginning of the season. So this is kind of prep you. Again, this 8-week program is going to prep you to get ready for the beginning of the season. Again, like if you move on to a program or somewhere that really does focus on the preparation of a soccer athlete, then you can incorporate this stuff as well.